Welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of Behind the Blitz. I'm your host, the Sports Place's national NFL reporter, Arye Pulli, and joining me today is NFL draft prospect, Arizona State safety, Myles Ghost Rouser. Myles, thank you so much for joining me today. How's everything going?
Everything's been well. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just want to get right into it. Let's get into your high school experience. So you had an interesting high school journey. You were a consensus four-star recruit coming out of high school. Um, chose Campbell. What went into that decision?
Really just a setback with an injury and not really not really being ready for the D1 level, honestly. As far as with Arkansas. So just going to FCS was the best decision at the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nothing wrong with those FCS programs. How do you think it kind of readied you to take the next step up? Obviously, you said you were dealing with a little bit of an injury, but what do you think it did in terms of giving you that readiness to get to the next level?
Just going through all the adversity, my freshman year with the injury and just being in a new environment as far as always being used to starting stuff like that. So just really having to fight my way up and, being able to start stuff like that, sitting out games because I didn't really start starting till the third game.
Yeah, but you did have a great year that first year. I believe you were named to a couple freshman All-American teams. Go to New Mexico State for a year before you go ultimately to your final destination, Arizona State. So just tell me a little bit about what went into that move. Why Arizona State?
Really, I picked Arizona State because Dillingham first off, and just knowing that he was starting something new and the energy that he brought on the phone call for like the first time we ever talked, I just knew it was something different, and we were going to connect on a different level.
No doubt, no doubt. When we talked about Campbell preparing you for that next level, what how do you think Arizona State prepared you for the next level in terms of now you're getting ready to embark on this journey, try to head to the NFL? How do you think that kind of got you ready for the league?
Um, with Coach Dillingham instilling like a be a good person, you know, have fun, working harder than everybody in the country, having that mantra, stuff like that, that really pushed me into the player I am today. And with our DC Coach Ward, with him being our safety coach, his his attention to detail, he really harped that on us as safeties, and really instilled that into my playing style today.
What was the day to day like with him? What was he like? What was it like interacting with him in that room, being able to work with you closely?
It was actually fun. He made jokes. We had a good talk before we even got into the meeting. But when we got in the meeting, we watch every single play. We gonna go over every position, and like I said, depending on the play, or however however he sees something that's not the way it's supposed to be, he gonna speak on it and give us opportunity to correct ourselves. And it's just pretty a comfortable open room.
You mentioned watching the film precisely every play. It brings me to this question, which I was just thinking about earlier today when I was talking to somebody, is, when you get to that Division 1 level, everybody can run, everybody can catch, everybody, you know what I mean? Everybody's physically there. Is the mental game and the knowledge of football, breaking down that film, knowing maybe what your opponent's going to do, is that the difference that it takes at the Division 1 level in order to stand out?
Most definitely do because we in the era where everybody watching film. You know, with certain coaches, the philosophy don't really change. So it's like, we have to go into different game plans certain ways, and also disguise and you know play play with the look pre-snap for the QB.
Absolutely. And I got to ask, obviously, you're at Arizona State. Jordan Tyson, wide receiver one.
Most definitely.
Did you have an opportunity to, in practices and camps, like get to go up against him? What was that like?
Yeah, yeah. We most definitely went up against each other a couple of times. He'd get in the slot, and we'll go head to head. He actually told me like I'm one of the best coverage safeties there. So yeah.
There you go. There you go. That should improve the draft stock right there. Just saying that from potential top 10 pick. So we talk about the draft, you were just down at the Shrine Bowl. How was the atmosphere down there in Frisco? Was it kind of easy to just play, or were you thinking a little bit about the scouts and the GMs and those are the people who are there watching?
I know it was pretty easy to like get out there and practice because we wasn't really doing too much that I haven't been doing all my life, but it was kind of a hostile environment with so many great players first coming in, not really knowing each other, stuff like that, and then you know. Some I had a little jitters a little bit, I ain't gonna lie. So just like really getting out there is the comfortable part though. So
Yeah, absolutely. Once you're out there, you're out there. And I heard there was a little bit of snow. You might not have been used to that while at Arizona State, huh?
nah, yeah, I definitely wasn't used to it at Arizona State, but my hometown is Detroit, so I'm immune to the snow.
Absolutely, absolutely. From a Pennsylvania guy myself, I'm bracing for another snowstorm here coming up soon. So hopefully that pushes off. But I feel you when you talk about being immune to the snow. So I want to get into a little bit more about your experience down at the Shrine Bowl. You obviously meet with many of the teams, if not all of the teams. When you talk to those teams, what did they say to you? Were there any critiques that they gave you, things that they wanted you to improve on? What do they want to see from you?
Really just focusing on being versatile, um, knowing when to take, certain hit sticks or certain shots, tackles, just working on tackling mechanics, knowing when to wrap up, stuff like that. And that was pretty much it. Cause being versatile and just paying attention to more detail as far as covering and yeah.
Yeah, you talk about versatility a little bit. Did these teams, if you got the chance to talk to them about this, did they see you as a pure safety or more of like a hybrid role? Let me into that conversation.
Um, that like certain teams were saying like either or, so like hybrid free safety or strong safety nickel.
What is your preference? You just trying to get out on the field as soon as possible?
Honestly, I like playing more closer to the box, so either strong safety or nickel. I feel like they're kind of both the same, just on opposite sides of the field, depending on the defense.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And when we talk a little bit about your performance down at the Shrine Bowl, obviously you said you were a little bit nervous. Obviously, happens everyone. What do you think you showed scouts down there at the Shrine Bowl that they might not have seen on tape at Arizona State?
I definitely was holding down on in one on ones, so coverage, showing more coverage. I showed versatility. I played free safety the whole week. Um, Arizona State, I mainly played strong. So yeah, I show versatility and I show coverage.
And everybody wants to see more out of people. What's obviously you're not just stagnant with where you are. What's the main area of focus that you're working on as you head to pro day and head towards the NFL draft?
Just making sure that I'm consistent with the numbers I want to see. As far as my testing and just paying attention to all the detail in my crafts as being a defensive back. So just s- keep backpedaling, opening hips, stuff like that, making sure I'm clean and ready to go.
And you told me before this you're training down in Georgia, so just tell me a little bit about that, where you're training at, who you're training with, and kind of what that looks like.
I'm training, in Atlanta, Georgia, with School Dilla, weight training and DB training.
So, what does that look like? Is that were you training today? What's the day to day look like for you?
Yeah, I train today. I train pretty much Monday through Friday. It's recovery Monday through Friday, Saturday as well. Um, the day start training wise at 10. I get up around 7 to eat, get ready. But training, we'll do upper body and lower body every other day. It'll last probably 3 hours. And certain days we'll go hit the hill or go on the field, do 40 starts, stuff like that. Just really everything that I need to do to, be prepared for the pro day.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's get into your game a little bit more. When you look at players in the league, you mentioned you watch a lot of film. Are there any guys that you look at and watch consistently, or maybe try to take bits and pieces of their game and put that into your game?
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey, Jalen Petrie, and Jordan Lewis.
I read that you said something about Jalen Ramsey beforehand. How do you balance? I know you talked about scouts giving you feedback of when to go for a hit stick and all that, when to balance that. How do you balance being an aggressive kind of tone setting type of guy while also staying disciplined in the system you're playing in?
Really just knowing the situation, being a situational football player. You kind of don't really know ever. So it's always safe to, you know, play it the safe route and bring those hands around, wrap up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When you talk about good safeties in the league, I gotta ask, man, what are your top three, top five safeties in the league? What are we thinking? In order, not in order, whatever you want.
Safeties in the league. Jalen Ramsey, Ed Reed, um, Jalen Petrie. Um, can I name corners too?
Yeah, sure. DBs we'll go with. Top five DBs.
Deion Sanders, Sauce Gardner, and Kamari Lassiter.
There you go. There you go. I see a little bit of a Texans theme here.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, a little bit. What about when we get to the league, right? Who you're gonna go against some uber talented. players, some uber talented wide receivers, tight ends. What's one guy that you're kind of looking forward to going up against? Maybe it's not even a wide receiver or a tight end pass catcher. Maybe it's a quarterback.
Uh, QB probably would be Caleb Williams.
Okay. All right. What about a wide receiver or a tight end? Anybody that you're like particularly looking forward to going up against?
Uh, Stephon Diggs and Gronkowski.
I gotta ask though, now that you mentioned Stephon Diggs, do you have a pick for the Super Bowl?
I really don't. I say really the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Hmm.
Not a bad pick. It's gonna be a close defensive matchup. And I
Yeah,
want
I
to
mean,
end
I feel like Seahawks got defense and offense though for sure.
absolutely, absolutely,
A full defense.
no doubt. I want to thank you again for coming on. I want to end with these final two questions I ask pretty much everybody. If I'm an NFL GM and I'm choosing between you and three other guys, let's say, what do you think is the, unscoutable trait that you bring to a team that potentially puts you ahead and helps you stand out in front of those other guys that I'm potentially considering?
Just the mentality I had to like always want to be around the ball. My tackling trait, my aggressiveness, and really just all that's gonna stand out. But at the end of the day, like I'm really doing this with 10 other people on the field, and like that's who I want to do it for as well. Like especially the other 11 people on offense as well. So just the whole team.
No doubt. Team player, team player. And if you could leave a message to, friends, family, teammates, fans, what would you like to say to them as this draft process soon is going to be wrapping up and you'll potentially be hearing your name called or signing with the team on draft day?
Just don't take life for granted. You got a lot of opportunities in life to do something, and you know you don't ever want the opportunity you let go be the opportunity that can feed your family or um you know help you over a lifetime.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Miles, really appreciate you coming on. Best of luck throughout the rest of this draft prospect process. And that was season 2, episode 3 of Behind the Blitz. Thanks again.
Yeah, I appreciate you.